Okay, so we're off to get my second injection. So I'm using the GoPro Hero 9 Black, which I've had huge troubles with, but I'm giving it its final go, and I'll tell you why. Because the Insta360 One X2, which I replaced all of GoPro's cameras with, actually dropped me in it last week. I went out to do my first ride and first thoughts, a review on the Aprilia RS660. Spent 4 hours on the road, covered 205 kilometers, got home, no sound on it. I'm at a loss, folks, I really am, you know, and I'm a professional TV cameraman, like, for a living, and I still can't get the sound right on these GoPros that are dropping me in it. I think I'm actually trying to do a little bit too much. I was feeding the Insta360 with a Rode Wireless Go system. I had 2 channels of sound running into the one receiver and all that stuff, and I just think I'm doing too much. So I've stripped it right back for today's test. I've put in the helmet mic, which is my Tram TR50 microphone, buried inside the helmet. I've just fed that hardwired straight into the back of the media mod on the Hero 9. So there's a little mini jack input just to allow you to do that, which is why I bought these cameras in the first place. For those of you who haven't been following my troubles and my saga with the Hero 9 Black, basically the camera was freezing. Well, both cameras, I've got 2 of them, and both cameras were freezing intermittently, but you'd think that was okay if you were only going to lose that file, but the only way to get the camera operational again was to format the card. So even when you took the card out and put it in the computer at home, it still wouldn't play any of the files. So there was an instance a couple of months ago, I think now, where I lost a full day's review on another motorbike given to me by Megabikes in Dublin for the day. And there's just no way. Time is precious at the minute because I'm resurrecting my business after lockdown and whatever else, so I'm away quite a bit, and you know, I've got a family, I've got 4 kids, so to take a day out and go and do a motorcycle review on a bike, which is very kindly lent to me by the shop in Dublin, it's too much to ask for, to say, oh sorry, the sound didn't work out, and I'm going to have to go and do it all again. And then you lose interest, because you know, you come back, you're dying to feed the stuff into the computer, knowing that you've had a great day out, knowing that you've come up with some really good things to say. Well, hopefully. I hope you think so. And then find that the sound isn't there. So that's why I'm doing this test today, and we'll see what happens when I get home. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm actually on my way to get my second injection for the COVID. I'm getting the Pfizer thing. And my daughter, sweetheart, my young daughter, she's only 15, and she said, but Dad, make sure you rest after you've had the injection before you ride home, you know, I'll be worried about you. That was very nice. The rest of them are still in bed. I bought an all-in-one waterproof suit yesterday because I'm wearing some new gear today. I'm wearing an Alpine Stars mesh jacket. I'm wearing a new pair of jeans, Alpine Stars again, and also a new pair of Alpine Stars lightweight waterproof boots. But the boots are the only thing waterproof about what I'm wearing today. So, like I say, I went out and bought the Alpine Stars, funny enough, just to keep it all within the same brand. The all-in-one over suit, or waterproof suit, you know, which goes over the kit you're wearing. It's pricey enough, that, I'll be honest. That was like €130 just for an outer shell to go over what you're wearing. But as I thought to myself when I was parting with the cash, I thought, yeah, but the day that I get caught out, you know, I wish I'd spent 10 times that. And again, for those of you who followed me for a while, I've worn pretty much the same suit, which is the Alpine Stars, and there's 3 gear, so it's sort of heavyweight, it's waterproof, it's lined, it's everything, it's brilliant for touring. But in this milder weather that we're experiencing at the minute, which is rare enough in Ireland, I just wanted to wear something lightweight. I went out on the new Aprilia RS660 on Sunday night, and I put all of that big gear on again because that's all I had, and it actually took the enjoyment out of it, out of the ride. So that's why I went out Monday morning, bought the lightweight gear and completed that with the waterproof thing. Anyway, enough about the clothing, back to the ride. I'm in a beautiful part of Ireland called County Cavan. This is where I live, this is where I hail from. Well, actually no, that's a complete and utter lie. As you can tell by my accent, I'm not 100% thoroughbred Irish. There's a Geordie lilt in there, although all my Geordie friends keep telling me that I sound 100% Irish. For those of you who don't know, a Geordie is, well, me, who hails from the north of England, Newcastle upon Tyne to be exact. Born and bred there. Met an Irish girl at a BBC Christmas party, and the rest is history. Lived over here for 20 years, and best thing which ever happened to me, that girl was. Because no sooner had I fallen in love with her, she brought me home to Ireland to meet the parents, and I fell in love with the country. So there you go, that's my life story in about 30 seconds. And 4 kids later, and still ever so happily married. Life is good. There you go. I always feel better, you know, and I always feel happier. I'm wondering why I'm sharing all this information, divulging this personal stuff with you, but it's because I always feel happier on a motorbike. I only got back into biking last year after a 30-year break, because I came off one of my sports bikes. So 30 years off it, and I spent 30 years wondering when to get back into it, thinking, no, you know, it's too dangerous. And I had a lucky escape when I had the accident. I couldn't walk for 3 months, so that's enough to sort of make you rethink things. So I took up all sorts of weird different activities: flying, aeroplanes, helicopters, microlights, paramotors, riding horses, to name but a few. And then my wife said, yeah, but you know, you're worried about getting on a motorbike again, and then you're flying around at 5,000 feet hanging underneath a parachute. Or what was the best description I ever heard of myself in a paramotor? It was oh yeah, a funny little fella with a weird accent hanging underneath a handkerchief with a hairdryer up his arse for an engine. I thought that description was brilliant, and I've hung on to it. So yeah, as my wife quite rightly said, you know, you do all these stupid other hobbies trying to replace the love you had for motorcycles, and if I'm totally honest with you folks, nothing compares. I had myself a Yamaha Dragster just to ease back into motorcycling. I bought that about 3 years ago. Great bike, 650 XVS 650, fabulous bike. And I thought I'll get that just to tootle around the country lanes where I live, well, like these roads here, taking it easy, you know. I won't be doing any stupid speeds, or it'll ease me back in. So I did that after I bought it. For a couple of years I was just tootling around the country lanes, and I had to deliver last year in lockdown. I had to deliver a hard drive with footage on, camera footage, which I'd done for a TV programme, down to the editor in Dublin. It was a beautiful sunny day, so yes, you guessed it, I took the Dragster, and it was halfway down to Dublin, which is an hour and a half's journey from where I live. I was halfway down there, and I just thought, okay, something's clicked inside me here. I'm now addicted again. It just brought back the feeling, that incredible feeling of being on 2 wheels, which I hadn't experienced since I packed in biking when I was 21. So I delivered the hard drive in Dublin, turned around, came back up, and honest to God, it was like something had taken over me. And I arrived home, and my wife she actually said, God almighty, she said, what's happened to you? I haven't seen you look that happy in ages. I said, yeah, we've got a problem, says I. She said, what? I said, I've just realised what I've been missing for 30 years. Oh, she said, well, she said, I thought you were going to tell me you'd met somebody else. Little did she know, it was the start of a love affair, but with a two-wheeled lover, not a two-legged lover, so I think she was relieved in a way. So I haven't looked back since. Again, as you know, I went out and bought the FJR 1300 a week after that epiphany last year, and oh my God, I just love that bike. That bike, well, still to me that bike is it just has everything, the FJR 1300. Unfortunately, I don't have everything to give it, i.e. height, because it was a big bike, not just the height, and I know you can lower the suspension, the linkages and everything, but the weight of it was savagely heavy bike. And with my low centre of gravity and that bike's top centre of gravity, when you lean over at a standstill, it takes a very strong person to rescue it at my height. I dropped it twice, as I've said openly on my channel, don't mind admitting that, and I just thought, no, before long I'm gonna run into a lot of trouble here at slow speeds. So it broke my heart, I'll be honest, to sell it, but I sold it to a lovely fella, a motorbike enthusiast who came along earlier this year, I think it was, back in February or something, and took it off my hands. I was so sad to see it go. But I knew I had this BMW anyway. I bought this last October. So the BMW has now stepped into the FJR's place as my everyday bike. I love this bike. I love the riding modes on it. I love it's the low seat version, which is much more suited to me. And the low centre of gravity with that incredible boxer engine. Thank you, Mr. Oil Truck, for pulling right out in front of me on these twisty roads. I don't know when I'll get another chance to overtake him. Let's go. It's quicker than I thought. However, the roads do look as though they've just been relayed, so I think there's quite a bit of loose gravel here. I'll be taking it handy. So yeah, the chap who bought it off me will definitely put the bike, the FJR, to more use than I could. And then, as I've just mentioned earlier, on this little trip, I have recently bought the Aprilia RS 660, the acid gold colour, which I actually now think is my favourite looking bike on the road currently. Stay tuned, because in another 6 months' time I'll have fallen in love with something else. Such is the way, such is the addiction of motorbikes. I'm sure you can all relate to this. It's unbelievable. But you know what? At least I'm not sitting in a pub every night or gambling me money away, or at least I'm enjoying it the way I'm doing it. That's my excuse anyway. And that's what I keep telling my wife as well. Could be a lot worse, Ellen. She's very understanding, but what she won't do is get on the back of one. Never. She said, you go off and kill yourself, she said, but don't expect me to be with you. Yeah, okay, thanks for that lovely message of love and encouragement. I'm sure there is a bit of love in that message somewhere. The great thing I love about this bike is that I don't even have to think about riding it. It just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but it's like an extension of me or something. It just, everything about riding this bike just happens without me thinking. And indeed on a few of my recent vlogs, you might have noticed where I've said, you know, when I'm approaching road signs or approaching a junction, I've actually had to stop speaking because I think it's an age thing. I can't multitask, I can't talk and think at the same time. So this is huge testament to this BMW that I can actually talk away as I'm doing at the minute on this video, and ride it without thinking. It's so comfortable. Well, it's the most comfortable bike I've ever ridden, full stop. I said that when I got this, and I still stand by that. So as well as this and the Aprilia RS660, I also have my Royal Enfield Continental GT, the 650 Mr. Clean version, chrome. I just think that's an unbelievable looking bike, and really good to ride as well. You've probably gathered now that I choose all of my bikes on looks, I really do, and performance is secondary. But if I can, well, as we have to in Ireland, if I can look at my bike, even if I can't ride it with all of the bad weather we get in this country, well, the rain I'm saying, not bad. As the saying goes, there's no such thing as bad weather, there's only bad clothing. And that's so apt for living in Ireland. But if I can look at my bikes and get as much enjoyment out of looking at them as I can riding them, then it's done the job for me, and that's a huge selling point for me. So the Royal Enfield slotted in beautifully. Actually, the Royal Enfield lives in the house because I'm so worried about the damp weather, and where I live I don't have a garage, I have an old cow shed. So I didn't want the Royal Enfield sitting out in the damp and the condensation and the moisture, even though, as are all my bikes, that ACF50 up to the hilt. I still didn't want to take any chances with the Royal Enfield. So that lives in the house. And actually, when I took it out at the beginning of the summer there, springtime, to put it out in the shed, because I started riding it quite a bit then, my wife said she actually missed it. Couldn't believe it. Huge turnaround. So I was delighted with that. So I think the kids and my wife now think of the Royal Enfield as a piece of furniture. A bit like their dad. Right, folks, nothing much to say apart from me just gibbering on there. I just wanted to come out and test the GoPro. It looks as though it's held up. It doesn't look as though it's crashed. Please God, there'll be footage and a video at the end of this ride. I'll put it up online, even though there's no real tagline to this or anything. Just me blithering on. So I'll think of a suitable title so I don't lull you into some sort of false sense of viewing, if you like. So I'll try, as I've always said, I'm as transparent as I can be with all of my videos. So anyway, I hope you've just enjoyed this little spin. I'm nearly there. 7 minutes away actually, but it's going to start raining, so I'm going to, it has started raining. So I'm going to pull into a petrol station, put on my all-in-one waterproof suit and finish off the journey. Okay, I'll get this up online and talk to you soon, folks. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave Perry, Wheelie Good TV, over and out.